Hey everyone, I am Surbhi and you are watching Key Differences. In this video, I am going to discuss what is formal communication. Along with that, you will get to know its characteristics and types. So friends, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. On the basis of degree of formality, the channels of communication are divided into two types, that is formal channels of communication and informal channels of communication. So first of all, we will discuss formal channels of communication in this video. So let's begin. Formal channels of communication. It is a communication channel controlled by the people in the higher authority of the organization. That is why it is also known as main line of operational communication. The flow of communication takes place through formal channels, which ensures timely and accurate dissemination of information. In short, we could say that formal communication is that communication which follows a prescribed path, laid down by the management for regulating the process of communication, so that the information can be conveyed to the receiver in the minimum span of time at lower cost and without any hindrance. Do you know that the efficiency of the organization is based on regular flow of messages through a well-designed network? To ensure that the flow of communication is easy and the executives remain informed about what is going on at lower levels. That is why formal communication is important. Now let's talk about the characteristics of formal communication. It can be initiated orally or in writing. It leads to the creation of formal relationship between the communicator and the receiver. It must follow a prescribed path to reach the receiver. It passes the relevant information only, which are related to the organizational matters. Such a communication is not self-generative. Rather, it is a deliberative effort. Let us take an example here. Suppose Alex is the managing director of the company, who passes an order to Bob. Bob is the general manager of the company. So, he retains the information and passes the same to Hazel, who is the supervisor of the company, to take the required action. This kind of channel is called formal channel of communication. Similarly, the communication may start from below and move to different stages following the formal structure of the company. Now talking about the types of formal communication. There are four types of formal communication, that is downward communication, upward communication, horizontal communication and diagonal communication. Now we are going to discuss each of them one by one. Downward communication. The communication that flows from the top to the bottom is called downward communication. Universally, this flow of communication is commonly highlighted. This is because every organization has an inbuilt hierarchical system, and so generally the communication flows in the downward direction. It relies on the assumption that the people working at higher level are authorized to communicate with the people working at lower levels. It involves passing of orders, instructions, notices, circulars, etc. Moving on to upward communication. Upward communication flows from the bottom to the top, that is, from the lower hierarchical level to the higher one. The primary aim of this communication is to inform the senior officials of the company about what is going on at the lower levels. It is used to send information, suggestions, make complaints and grievances of the lower level workers to the managers. It is also known as upstream communication. Moving on to horizontal communication. This kind of communication takes place between people working at the same position, level, or under the same head. For example, functional managers working at the same level but different departments is an example of horizontal communication. This is also called as lateral communication. In the absence of lateral or say horizontal communication, there is no fruitful progression at the organizational level. Moving on to diagonal communication. It is also known as crosswise communication. In this type of communication channel, there is no defined path of information transmission. Hence, the information flows among employees working at different levels of the company. It goes like this. First it will take an upward direction, then lateral, then downward, or it may skip certain stages also. It may give rise to gossip or grapevine communication. Talking about the advantages of formal communication. It maintains the authority structure of the organization, and so it is easy to fix responsibilities of the subordinates for the activities undertaken by them. Next, an immediate superior directly communicates with the subordinates, which develops an understanding between them, leading to effective communication. In a formal communication, better cooperation and coordination among the employees is possible. Further, there is no overlapping of communication, which reduces the confusion and chaos. Along with that, information passes through a formal route, which makes it more reliable to be acted upon. Further, it maintains the protocol of formal structure. Moreover, follow-up actions and compliance is much easier when the information passes through formal means. Talking about the disadvantages of formal communication, it is a time-consuming channel of communication. That is, a small piece of information passes through various points, which delays the communication. Further, formal communication does not allow the creation of social and emotional bonds, which ultimately affects the organizational climate. Moreover, lack of initiative of the subordinates is experienced in such a communication system. So friends, this brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope the concept of formal communication is clear to you now. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up and share it with other people. Also, if you are new to this channel and wanna get more such useful videos, consider subscribing the channel and also hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you are notified every time whenever a new video is uploaded on this channel. And if you have any queries or feedback for me, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Until next time, this is me Surbhi signing off.